After upgrading to the professional package with Pico, you have the ability to error-proof your worker guidance instructions using tools like precision fastening devices. For example, we have a Culver K-Deucer here and an inline tool that we want to connect and use as part of our work instructions. So when we navigate to our device library, we can add a controller and a tool to add into our work instructions. First, we'll add our controller. We can see our relevant information here, and the only pieces of information needed to configure this tool is what its name is, or if you have a specific serial number for it. In this case, I'm just going to call it my assembly K-Deucer. I'll skip the serial number piece, and the location on my floor is going to be my workbench. The only pieces I need is the IP address of where it lives on the network. In this case, I'm just going to use the default that comes with it, and the specific open protocol port. This will default to 4545 as needed, and this will typically be your standard across most of your torque tool brands. And this will allow me to add this to my device library. Next, I'll add in the tool doing the same methodology. And I'll navigate to my specific torque tool list. You can see all the different brands that Pico integrates here. I'm going to select my inline tool with all of my different specifications. Similarly, when I configure this, it'll just ask for my tool, which is my assembly tool. It's going to automatically select the hub as the controller I already configured. It'll ask me which stations I want to allow this device to perform work at. This is important to allow the processes assigned to that station to be able to use this tool to perform that work. I'm going to assign this to both the test station and the seat post install. And the last thing is the serial number and part numbers as needed. If I want to reference a specific number of my tool, I'm going to call this one the KDS MT 1.5, referencing that its max range is 1.5 newton meters. Now I have a tool integrated as part of my device list here. So when I navigate to my processes and install a specific tool as part of my process, what I can do is add in an action to support that. So when I go to my install seat post here, I'm going to add in a specific action. In this case, it's a torque tool. And it's going to be torquing those seat clamp screws. The only items I need to configure are how many, or what is that batch count of the part. In this case, it's 4 screws. And the configure ID is calling the program on the tool. In this case, it's program number 2, which is tightening it to 1.25 newton meters. And then this will pre-select the available torque tool at the station. In this case, it's my assembly tool here, both at seat post and test station. If I have other torque tools, I can select them on a station-by-station basis. And now I have an action on my process that allows me to start connecting those tools. This tool will be enabled and disabled via open protocol. So as soon as I get to this relevant step in the process, it'll configure these items for me.